All right, so I've gotten a couple comments asking me to explain how I record videos from an audio and video side. I figured this is a good time to do that. Basically today, I'm gonna be talking about my cover of Sleep Theory's 3. I think this is a good mix to go off of. So let's just hop into it. So first things first, I'm actually in Logic Pro X. I've used various DAWs over the years. I've used Cubase, I've used Reaper a lot, but ever since I got a Mac, I figured that Logic was probably the best thing for me to go off of. And there's a lot of features that I just can't live without now, so it's really good. Straight away, go into my settings here. You can see that my IO buffer size is 64. Now, I think this all depends on your computer, if your computer is beefy enough. I'm using the base model M4 Mac Mini, and I've had no problems with it ever since. Input device is going to be your audio interface. Right now, this is M2, and this is just because I'm using the Mo2 M2. It's an audio interface, but you can use whatever interface that you have. What I do when I record covers is that I figure out the tempo that the song is at. You can do this in various ways. You can actually go on to the song in Logic and just apply a region tempo. It's a project tempo. This works out pretty well most of the time. I think you kind of have to tweak it sometimes, but it works out pretty well. Other than that, to be honest, what I'll do sometimes is just play the song back and kind of just do like a tap. You could do like tempo tap or something on Google and it works. But I kind of just do a quick tap. I think you can actually do this as well in Logic, but don't quote me on that because I'm not even too sure. But anyways, when that happens, I kind of just align that to the grid here, and it's pretty accurate for the most part. Hold on, kind of see here. In times of pain, in tragedy, he comes and waits. Just going through my guitar effects chain here. So one by one, straight away, I have this little cut at 105 Hertz. I think there's a part in the song where I probably thought the chugs were just a little too much. So I dipped it down by 3. Honestly, I don't think you can tell like a huge difference there, but still kind of have that there. To be honest, you can kind of see later on in my amp settings, we have more EQ, so it's fun. But anyways, I'll just isolate these guitars here. So just speaking a little bit about the guitars here, I'm recording this song with my 6-string. Don't quote me on the name because I have no idea. It's the Blue Ibanez that I use. It's back there. So for this song, it's actually in drop G sharp. I'm not playing it in drop G sharp. You can kind of see right here. If we open up my plugin of Fortin Nameless X, this is by Neural DSP. I use this for pretty heavy stuff. Pretty heavy covers and whatnot. But anyways, you can kind of see here that this is actually what I recorded in. So that's not in G sharp, that's actually in drop C. But I use the transpose feature a lot, and that's just because like tuning to every single tuning just kind of gets annoying. So, have it in drop G sharp by going 4 semitones down, right? Probably wondering why there's 2 there, but that's because I have my left and right channel. Once you have like 2 separate takes of those and you kind of pan them left and right, it creates this sound. and it's all about the little differences, to be honest. You can't just record one take and then put it to your right channel. Like it won't make sense. It'll just sound like it's doubling. So you kind of have to record both. As well, you can kind of see here that I have a lot of cuts and whatever, and little comps and different stuff like that. That's just because I wanted to do clean takes, right? So I could record this all the way through for sure, right? But I think when it comes down to it, just making sure you have a really clean take of anything just makes your cover sound a lot better, or audio recording sound a lot better. So you can kind of even see here, I have 2 takes of whatever this is, and we just kind of check it out here. I'll just go on this one, for example. I wanted to get these chugs right. I can kind of tell for this, my chugs are a little bit still messy, but it's okay. It's fine. Because I don't think in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to really like notice too much, but you can actually tell that, or if you know the song, I changed this part a little bit. So I'll just play the original here. This is just the guitars. So in the original, it's like dun 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 dun, but I did dun 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 dun, or some. I don't even know what the I did. I just did like triplets and stuff. So you can see actually all the way down here, I actually have just a harmonic, even just separately, and that's because I wanted to get like a really high pitched harmonic input. Sometimes I think it sounds cool when it's just coming out of like one ear or something. So that's why this is just straight on the right side. I could have put this down the middle, but you know, it sounds crispy. It sounds cool. To be honest, I've gone through a lot of covers where I just use the same kind of cab that's in the amp sim. But I like to experiment and use different cabs and stuff. So right now, and probably for a little bit, actually, I've been using the Kali oversized cabs. There's a lot of good presets in here just to go off of. So sometimes I mess around with those. Sometimes I just do my own kind of thing. But for one of these, I'm pretty sure it's one of these presets. It doesn't tell you what preset it is. So I have no idea here, but you know, you kind of see the settings here. A lot of the same mics and stuff are used in the amp sim itself, in this cab section. So I mean, like, to each their own. You can kind of just mess around with a lot of stuff in here, to be honest, and get a traditional sound that you like. So now I want to talk about the actual song here. Now you can just kind of do your guitar cover over your song. To me, I like to go a little bit of the extra mile here and get stems out of them. So what that means is basically just splitting up the song through vocals, through drums, through guitars, through bass, and it just helps with your specific guitar cover, or even vocal cover or drum cover or whatever, right? So a lot of people use different kind of apps. I was actually using one that I got recommended by my boy EJ. Appreciate him. This one was called Moises. It's basically looks like this. I think it's like an AI track separation kind of thing. And I think if I didn't have Logic, I would still be using that. But Logic, with its most recent update, came out with a track stem splitter. So I've been using that. Can't even see here if I can. I can't. Okay. Hold on. What the fuck? Why can't I like? I'm smoking crack? What's going on? Holy shit, I'm tweaking. Okay, you know what? I give up. So with this other channel, it splits up like guitars, and it splits up like electronics and like everything else. So you can kind of see here, if I just solo this really quick. It does a pretty good job at just like taking that out. Same with everything else, to be honest. Vocals.
Down for what it say. Pull me down and I can't come back. Yeah, that seems like they're always coming in through.
Drums. Does a pretty good job. It's not too bad. So, and it's definitely like you can work around it and stuff. But basically for this other section, what I do is that I just kind of go like this and put it down a bunch. And now I can straight up just take away or mute it. But I like to have it just a little bit, at least in the background. It just makes a lot of sense because, you know, it's a guitar cover and I don't want the guitars to be in the forefront. And to be honest with these, it kind of sounds like they're like still in the mix, but like also in the front of the song, which is good. That's exactly what I want. So, oh yeah, last thing I would say is mastering in Logic Pro. I don't know if it's like AI or something, but it like kind of analyzes your entire workflow. And it says this is probably the best thing for mastering. To be honest, I use that because I have no idea how to master. And I also have no idea how to mix. I kind of just, I'm going with the flow here and whatever sounds good to me. But yeah, I use that and it's pretty good. You can kind of see that it does a little bit of widening, a little bit of correction too. There's a little bit of EQ here going on based on everything, which is nice. This is like perfect for me. Sometimes with these kind of things, like I feel like I'm a perfectionist at times. I want to make sure it sounds really good in like your headphones or your speakers or your phone speakers or like monitors or like anything. So that's pretty much it. Like, you know, there's not too much going on here. I guess I can talk a little bit about the video side. So for the longest time, I was using Canon cameras. I've recently switched over to Sony. So I'm using a Sony a6700. It's pretty good so far, and I'm really liking it so far. What else? Yeah, I guess that's like the video side. I don't know. If there's any other questions, let me know. And I can try to explain it to the best I can. But over my time of just doing this kind of stuff, this is how I do things. I think the audio side is probably the most important side because, you know, we're talking about a guitar cover here. So that's why I like really went in on that. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you want to see some more stuff like this, let me know. And we could definitely do some more deep dives like this. So it's always fun. Peace. See you later.